Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast, where we hang out a little bit longer.
Okay, 3 things to know extended today in this After the Show podcast.
Okay.
Things we touched on and 3 things to know that we need to go deeper on, like the CES Day 1 this week.
The Consumer Electronics Show.
In Las Vegas.
Every year, forget about this, Sam. You and I talk about going, but it like sneaks up.
Yeah.
They really need to push it back later in the year.
Give us time to get settled for the new year
Right.
and make our plans.
Right.
Or
Know that it's coming.
like the
Well,
whole
that's
show
true.
in Las Vegas has to change because you can't remember that it's in January.
Oh, it'd be nice.
I think that you should plan now for January 2026 if you really want to go.
So what are the new things?
All right, here are the new
it
crazy.
is really cool stuff that pops out.
Lenovo unveiled a laptop with a rollaway screen that doubles in size at the push of a button. That sounds crazy to me. We told you about a solar beach umbrella that can power a couple of tablets. It can keep your electronic cooler running all day as long as the sun's out.
Can you plug your stereo in or whatever it is, your music? Keep
That's,
the obnoxious music blaring on the beach?
I guess. It'll power
Yeah.
power a certain amount. That's just interesting.
It's a
interesting thought.
solar that I'm assuming continues to charge the battery that's attached to the.
Correct. Right. Okay. There's a roaming vacuum, but unlike a Roomba, it's got this
The one with the arm?
a robotic
Yeah.
arm that will also pick up the socks instead of just like going around them.
Oh, really?
And
Instead
move
of
them out of
hitting
the way.
and
Yeah.
or sucking up a sock, it'll pick it up and move it.
So does it pick up everything that it sees?
I know where you're going here.
Yeah, because the things that the Roomba runs over right now could also
Yeah.
be picked up by the robotic arm, which that could be
That would
nasty.
be
Yeah.
so gross. Look, it's never going to be perfect because it's an electronic thing, right? But we've never had a Roomba or any sort of vac like that for the reason of we have pets. I wish, because that's the reason we need it, because I have hair.
Yeah.
That's why we would need it.
Yeah.
But the fact that, and nobody has made an accident in the house for a very long time, but
That's because
my
the kids
fear
are gone.
is I would come home to that,
Yeah.
the accident all over the place.
You hear the Roomba going,
So
You know, the
gross.
weird thing about the dog hair is that it really collects under the sofa, which is a place the Roomba can't go anyway. Is it Roomba? I'm saying
Actually,
Roomba.
it's Roomba.
Roomba.
It
Depends on
actually
the height
goes
of
in
your-
other places.
yeah, it depends on the height of your sofa and Roomba because they might
It-
be able to fit under them.
It goes in other places though, for sure. I mean, I usually sweep on Saturday mornings, and it's in crevices. It's in places you don't realize. Murphy, you start sweeping up, and it's like there's a small dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
I have to do it almost every day with Gus.
Mm-hmm.
Also, AI is taking over too this year. That's the big thing.
No
And
kidding.
I've seen some of the one. I mean, some of these things, they're little. They're not the big TVs or a car or something. But there's one called Leafy Pod. It's
Okay.
an AI-powered smart planter.
Help me.
Has environmental sensors in it. It keeps tabs on the soil moisture, light, temperature, humidity levels. It's got a watering system that will change its schedule based on the plant's current condition. It almost sounds like an insulin pump, like it's censoring
Yeah.
and then giving.
For a plant.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have to tell it what kind of plant it is first, or does it know that too?
I think you would have to
It
because
seems like it. yeah.
guidelines per plant are different for moisture and
You know what?
soil and light and all that.
That is probably a great scalable technology for, crop growers too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are probably bigger versions of that system. And think about the waste that would eliminate, on farms or,
See, this is
crop time.
exactly why ideas, especially new ideas in the world, need to be discussed with all kinds of different people, because that is not where my mind went.
Yeah.
Your mind went to making the world better and making life easier and helping an industry. My thought
Jodi
was,
wants to keep a plant alive.
no, my thought was you're taking the joy out of
Plant.
the
Yeah,
plant.
yeah.
For me, I want to stick my pinky in there and feel the moisture and think, does this plant need to be moved to a different spot in the house? That's part of it for me, is to not use AI and to use my brain.
Well, and I love that idea, but remember the problem we've run into lately with a plant that you just said last weekend. It's like, I don't know what to do about this one anymore. This plant, just so you know, Sam, it's pretty amazing. It's a peace lily?
The one your dad's?
Yeah.
It was your dad's,
So
yes.
it was from my grandmother's funeral in 2011. And so my mom and my dad kept it alive for the rest of both of their lives. And when both of my parents passed, the plant came to our house, and Jodi's been able to make it thrive. And, so it's lasted for a long time. However,
recently.
Recently, the leaves are starting to not look so great on it.
It's also not thriving anymore.
Is it,
it's
because you need
surviving, but it's not thriving.
Do you need to replant it or split it?
Probably, but I hate to do
See,
that.
it sounds to me like we need that AI thing you were just describing, Sam. That's
Their AI thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure
All
it's cheap.
Let's see how Murphy can scale this one. Birdify Bath Pro. It's a camera-equipped smart bird bath. You can check in on your bird friends as they use the bath to freshen up. 2 different lenses, a wide angle, and an auto tracking version. And it has the optional AI analysis add-on. You can recognize the birds, recognize repeat visitors, and take highlight photos.
Oh, I
All
would
for a mere
love that.
$250.
Oh, that's
Well,
expensive.
but if you're a bird fanatic, maybe that's something that would work for you.
You do-
Are these things just newly introduced? Are they on the market yet? Or these are like all prototypes?
The Birdify is. You can get $50 off right now if you pre-order.
Interesting.
The Leafy Pod is a Kickstarter thing right now.
a lot of it's Kickstarter.
Because my grandmother was a huge bird fanatic. She would go throw bird seed out and
Every day.
She used to use the bird feeder, but then she just started throwing it everywhere, which is interesting when that stuff starts to grow too. But but she would throw and the birds would come to her every single day. And so I don't know, when that becomes your thing, your hobby, your joy, I can see why somebody would want to get, sophisticated with tracking the birds.
Well, I've seen on social media, I can't remember the site, but
little bird feeders that have the cameras.
the bird feeders with the cameras, Murphy, it's the cutest thing ever. I would love that because they come up and they start eating, but they're right in front of the camera and they don't know it.
Yeah.
They're just eating, and you get to see them in a way you never would.
I thought about getting one of those because I've seen those and they really look cool.
They're beautiful.
But again, they are also in this price range. They're not cheap. So.
Well, it might be worth the money if they could figure out a way to recognize squirrels that love to get up there and eat the bird seed.
Like,
You know
They
what I mean?
do.
get 'em off?
Oh, they do.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of scare them away,
or when the squirrel
send
comes up, it shuts.
you, or sends you an alert. You know,
Squirrel.
Yeah, I don't think there's any technology to get squirrels out of bird feeders yet, because that is a problem that's ongoing. Okay, so we'll continue to update you on CES and all the new stuff that comes out. There's some stuff that seems wasteful too, and like
There
duds.
always is.
There's always like junk too.
There's always some $17,000 TV that no one's ever going to buy. You know?
Unreal.
But you also get the sneak previews of what the automakers are starting to put in, which is, the tech is just unbelievable. But, I think you said that, you've said that in the show a couple of times, Sam. It's the year of AI. It's sort of like this is 2025. I mean, it started last year. It's like every program, every app you use, everything seems to have AI now integrated into it.
Well, also from this Consumer Electronics show in Vegas, Sony and Honda, speaking of it, have their electric car now. It's available for pre-order.
Wait, Sony. It's a Sony-Honda collaboration or 2 different vehicles?
Sony
It's a
and
collab-
It's a Honda and Sony's collaborating on it.
Wow, okay.
And they're going to
put-
put a lot of stuff in the dashboard,
All right.
auto stuff.
You can put $200 down for it. It's called the Afila.
Yeah.
And but when it's ready for you, they'll create it for you if you put your $200 down and you order it. And then when it's ready, it's $100,000.
Oh,
And but it probably does all kinds of things.
Only $200 down and $99,000.
800 to go. Wow.
I'm not kidding about going to Vegas next year. I'll go with you guys. I just won't go to the CES. I'll go do some other stuff.
God, that would be so
I know you guys
awesome.
would love
It
it.
would be, yeah.
We've been talking. You have been talking
Think
about
of the
it
free
since
swag.
Who gets free anything in Vegas?
Oh, no. When you walk through those conventions, there's people handing out all kinds of stuff. Now, it's probably keychains, pens, and sticky pads, but
Right.
Okay. You're excited about that? Okay. A few more little stories for you that did not make the cut for 3 things to know, because it really is only 3 when we do it, 3 at a time. Greek food has been named the best cuisine in the world. How do you like that?
is that like healthiest or just best?
Best cuisine.
Does it tie in with the Mediterranean
This is Travel
diet?
Atlas out analyzing the ratings. United States, U.S., we don't even make the top 10. So Greek food is at the top, is in the number 1 spot, followed by Italian, Mexican, Spanish, Portuguese. Those round out the top 5.
I know you're saying American
foods.
food doesn't come in there, but we can get all those foods you just mentioned here in America.
I
Right.
know. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Well, you were talking about the Greek food in, being the top diet, the Mediterranean diet being the top, diet for 2025, I guess.
It's just recommended as far as being good for you.
Yeah.
Really, really healthy. Not just about weight loss, but just health.
Jody and I have a standing lunch date that we do every Tuesday at one of our favorite, Mediterranean places. Greek, it's a Greek and Lebanese restaurant that's delicious. And, I don't, unless I get the massive salad, I never walk out of there like going, oh my God, I can't eat it anymore. I mean, it is good for you, and I guess it's either the chicken, the shrimp, or the fish that we wind up getting.
It's a combination of why it's good for you. It's the healthy, good olive oils that they use to cook with. There's a lot of lean meats like fish and lean chicken and things like that. And there's high vegetables. Like they grill the vegetables that come along with it. Now they also fry cheese. So
halloumi.
They do fried halloumi and it's delicious, fried in olive oil, which is good for you.
Right.
But
it's still fried cheese.
Still fried cheese.
Yeah. The interesting part to me about a top list of the supposed favorite foods, the top foods in the world is we all crave variety anyway.
Yes.
I don't know. Look, there's some people that truly can't eat the same thing every day, which is fine. But, I mean, for me, I love all of those. I absolutely love Italian food. I have my favorites, but I always want to vary them up. So even if I have a top favorite, I can't do that every day. I'll burn out on it,
Trying new things you have to do it in life. You just do. Whether you stumble into it accidentally or you make yourself try something new, you just really have to do it.
If you're an experienced person, which to me really is the joy of a lot of that, is even if the worst is going to happen is you don't like it. That's right. That's the worst that happens. You don't like it and you don't eat it again. And I've done that before with escargot. I can't do that. I know that people will do that as a delicacy. I cannot stand, unfortunately.
I've never tried
correct.
snail before. What did it wasn't taste like chicken?
Oh, no.
It was strong, right?
Yeah, it kind of tasted like you would think a snail would taste. It didn't matter that it was loaded up with a special Worcestershire sauce and, baked in the oven or whatever.
Look,
yeah,
at least you tried. That's one I won't. I have a boundary with that. I don't want to try. I don't want to eat that, and I won't.
Yeah, thank God I wasn't paying for that meal.
I'll wrap this discussion with something that was delightful last night at the house. Our oldest Taylor is living at home again. She graduated in college and she's taking a gap year and working and whatnot. And when you were working late last night, Murphy, and I was at home and I just really didn't want to cook, knowing that there were leftovers for you and I had a salad, whatever. She hit the door and I thought, uh-oh. I called her and said, look, you need to fend for yourself tonight. And she was around the corner. She said, well, I'm almost home. I felt really bad, but she hit the kitchen and she said, do you care if I just create something with what we have in the pantry and fridge? And I said, absolutely don't care. And in a few minutes, I was in the family room, Murphy. It smelled so good in the kitchen. Did it not? And when you hit the door.
When I walked home, it's like, okay, I thought you weren't cooking tonight, Jody. What's up?
I had some sausage, beef sausage. Mm-hmm. We had fresh spinach. We had orzo pasta. I have some infused olive oils. And I know we had heavy whipping cream. She made a sausage and spinach orzo pasta dish that tasted like something you would get at a restaurant. It was delicious.
Yeah.
And the whole house smelled fantastic.
Yeah. And speaking of food taste changes, because she's the one that, when she was a kid, it was chicken nuggets and peanut butter, and that was it. But she's now she probably has a more sophisticated palate than either me or Jody.
Well, she does. She can talk food.
Yeah.
She'll spit out, you know what this is? And I'll never have heard of it. And she is probably going to eventually, when she can afford it, she's going to do some travel that is food focused.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
Correct.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jody podcast.